Well, welcome back to Clean Nuts and the long-awaited second part of the bobber build, the XVS 650 Classic. That I've done a lot of the work's been done, and I've sat on it for a year. As you can see, it's quite dusty. So I guess got to dust it off first and then get it built. Got a table of parts: front and rear fender, fender stays, brackets for the front fender, mirrors, seat, nuts and bolts. And the air cleaner, indicator cluster, and under there's a tank. So let's get it dusted off and get on it. Started with a 2-inch brush and a soft brush and an airline, dusting off, and I've left it a year, so there's a lot of dust. And then I was cleaning up the barrels with some Scotch-Brite. They were the things that really let it down. And then give it a paint with some high temperature engine lacquer, matte black. Give the chrome a bit of a polish. I mean, what I do when I work on these bikes is everything I touch I clean up and polish up, and by the time you finish the bike you've got a lovely clean bike. So putting together the rear fender here, some sort of bit of a bracket goes on and the side stays go on. Building up the front fender, it's really starting to take shape now. So fit that in, Loctited the little bolts. So put the bolts in dry and then took each one out, Loctited them and put them in securely. The last thing you want is a front fender to come loose. That was an interesting thing I did there. I tied up the front wheel because I was going to put the tank on at some point. And helps if you have the handlebars straight when you're playing with tanks. I'll put some WD-40 down the barrels. I thought since I've left it a year. And then on with the tank. But as you'll see, I screwed up here really. I've got it all on, bolted on and everything, and then realised that I'd left the fuel filter hanging down, just there. So off it had to come again. Tuck that up behind. There's a little bracket that it goes onto. Put that onto the petcock, and then as usual, everything you've touched, start cleaning up. You can really start, I mean, it's a big moment when the tank goes back on a bike. It's really starting to take shape. Look at that. Oh yeah, now it's putting the instrument cluster back on. And the speedo cable was a bit short. Just couldn't get to it. So I thought, okay, undo the wheel, lift it up, put it on, put it back on. That's the trick. So I was thinking about getting it running. Put some fuel in. So I had a new battery. And didn't quite know how powerful it was. We're about to find out. Already sounding a bit weak. So time to put the charger on. And whilst that was charging up, put the seat on. I was getting pretty disappointed at this point. So I'm thinking no spark. Time to have a look at the plug. So pull the ignition lead off. Put a another spark plug in. Had a nice big fat spark, so it had to be fuel. I'm figuring the fuel's going to come through any time. So I changed the petcock. And boom! Put the choke in, nice idle already. Look. I was pretty much convinced that having left it a year, the clutch would be seized. So pulled the clutch in, tried to select gear, and you can see it jump into gear, and the wheels start going round. And so what I was going to do here was put my foot on the foot brake whilst holding the clutch in. try and break the clutch free. So clutch in, foot on the brake. Didn't have enough engine RPM for that. So get it running again. Add idle, put it into gear. Getting a bit of warmth in it. Forgotten to put it in gear. So this time we're going to do exactly the same. Put a foot on the brake, but have a few more RPM. And the clutch held in. There you go. That is how you clean, disengage a seized clutch. Now a bit of smoke had caught my attention. You see it? I'm thinking, what's this? Is it wiring? But on closer inspection I've got some copper grease on one of the exhaust bolts. So I was rather hoping it would just burn off. Lovely sound with those exhausts on. So time for the side casings. And the one on the battery cover. Just having trouble getting the pin into the rubber grommet, so just put a bit of grease on it and it slots in straight away. It's incredible. Got a nice pair of bobber mirrors here to go on. They're real good quality ones. I fitted this one and it wouldn't really sit tight. Kept moving, so I put a lock washer in underneath, whipped it off, put the lock washer in, back on again. And that got it nice, and I like them solid. I don't like mirrors that move around. I don't think anyone does, do they? Well, I guess that's pretty much finished. It needs an MOT and I need to do a bit of a shakedown ride on it. But other than that, it's all finished. I'm really pleased with it. What do you think? I think it looks pretty cool. Should have a little walk around it. So what have we done? Well, we've got powder coated foot plates, powder coated gear linkage, nickel plated lights. This has been powder coated. The headlamp bowl, risers and drag bars, Avon grips, bobber mirrors, repainted tank. You get a mark on it. Oh, that needs cleaning. Solo seat, rear fender, slip-on exhaust. I think I'm really pleased with that. Powder coated brake pedal. It's one shiny bike for 15 years old. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed the build. Hope you enjoy watching Clean Nuts, and like and subscribe. And the next video is the shakedown of this, MOT, And then I've got a Kawasaki that I'm going to build for you. Let's show it to you. That's the next project, VN900. That's going to look awesome. Then we have got the XS650. So there's lots going on. Stay tuned, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.